Good
Hi,
morning.
Ron. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here with all of you to discuss how we really built EBIC as one of the first AI native softwares for the PR and communication industry globally. I'm glad to have my co-founder Zoravar, who's our Chief AI Officer, and our Chief Technical Software Engineer Zubia with us today on this call as we delve into how we really started this journey, what were our learnings, and how we really built it to the place where it is probably one of the most advanced AI native softwares for the PR comms industry. So let us jump in straight away. Zora, do you want to kind of share what your thoughts were when I initially told you that I come from the PR and comms industry, and the entire workflows are very fragmented. There are a lot of manual workflows which need to be automated, and also the fact that the overall reputation, risk, reward ratios for any PR firm or enterprise is extremely high, and it is very under leveraged at this point in time. And if you really build something of value, it could be of immense momentum for the entire industry. So what were your thoughts when I first shared these thoughts with you?
No, I think you covered most of it. My instant reaction the first time I heard this from you was certainly that, yeah, I have not heard of anybody cracking an AI implementation for this particular niche vertical and domain. So the opportunity was quite apparent to me. And of course, you being a domain expert, as you know, building any kind of technology, a lot of tech stack knowledge, which Zubia has brought to the table and has held the fort on. But you also need domain expertise to really get those granular, nuanced pieces right. Because ultimately, the end user is nor the builder, and in my experience, it's not even the people sanctioning the product, which are the C-suite and the top bosses. And I think something that we've done really well with EBIC, thanks to you, Zubia, and the much larger team that backs us, is that we have been able to build it not from the perspective of the owners of the PR firm or the experienced hands from the PR industry like yourself, but we've been able to build it for the end users today, which means somebody carrying 25 years of experience running a hands-on PR workflow versus a Gen Z employee in a large PR firm, and of course the coming generation that has to take every domain, every industry forward. So I think opportunity was apparent. Some things we really were able to get right thanks to your domain knowledge. Our technical team is fabulous, and keeping the end user in mind has worked for us. Yeah, so those have been my thoughts. Zubia, how about you? What's your technical journey been like? I know some days are you're running multiple sprints in one sprint, and some days I hope have been lighter. But I'd love to know how you feel as the tech lead on this.
I think when I started on this project, it really seemed interesting to me because the problem that we were solving was something I hadn't heard of before. But I think I started delving into the code base and the tech stack that we were using gradually, and then it started like increasing. My role in it started increasing quite quickly, and I think along the way, from a technical perspective, integrating a lot of technologies into the various features that we have in the platform has evolved me as well as a developer, because and I think the whole tech team who has been working quite hard on this product. So we have evolved ourselves as developers along with the product, and the aim that we as a tech team have with this product is to involve all the state-of-the-art technologies so that this can serve its purpose. And as you said, we also try to keep in mind the domain specificity so that it's not just another wrapper, it has the nuances of the problem that we're trying to solve.
So, a question quickly for Pi. You have used the product and it's been a journey of a year. And we started with the fact that amongst all of us, you carry over 2 decades of domain expertise here. I would love to know a frank, candid take of yours. How much of the workflow or value addition does EBIC do today? Say you were not part of the product development cycle.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Obviously, having seen the evolution of the product over a period of time, I will start with one of the basic things that we used to do when we used to come into the PR firm was media monitoring. And media monitoring and analytics used to take us at least 3 hours in the morning. I think this is a workflow for many firms in at least the Asian region. So that part is done now in 5 minutes. So that's a great fillip to the entire workflow and productivity efficiency that EBIC brings to the table. The second one is the content generator. So once you've kind of reviewed everything that's come from a media monitoring standpoint for your brand or for your client, you go to the AI content generator. It is contextual. So it has ingested all the data on your brand, on your industry. So as Zubia said, that it is not a wrapper. What it has actually done is it has understood your tonality of brand communications over a period of time. It has kind of improved upon that, and then it gives you specific answers for the queries that you put. So what again used to take a couple of hours to generate any artifacts, be it press releases, thought leadership papers, blogs, or any other communication from a corporate standpoint, it does that now in 5 to 10 minutes, and you can iteratively prompt it to make it better and better, just like how you would probably use any other LLM today. But the only advantage with EBIC is that it is a contextual AI engine, which actually powers the entire workflow and the framework. So that is fabulous. So I think those are things very unique to EBIC.
To highlight actually some of the favorite features, obviously the team has built so many, but I remember when we all started, we were trying to incorporate a Trello into the system, and I remember Zubia, we had a conversation about using Trello's backend, and obviously we wanted to keep things as frictionless as possible. But eventually we realized that, oh no, the whole thing will get too complicated and the technical debt will just grow. So let's just build everything in-house. And I remember a partner team of ours at that time also really helping us out with this. The fine-tuned model of EBIC is, I think, something that does deserve a minute, because not just for the hard work that the teams had to put in, but I think for the kind of outputs that we are able to get today. And it's important for the viewers to understand, or future EBIC users to understand, that it is not just about taking a sample of one press release or a few system prompts that are giving you the right structure and output. We've actually gone over the historical data of a particular PR firm. So when we are deploying for, say, PR firm X, it is the entire history and tonality and outputs and artifacts, as we call them internally, of that PR firm that get compressed into this system. Well, how we do it is obviously our magic sauce. But it's important for the viewers to know that when we deploy for a particular enterprise, the outputs represent true to the tonality, the rule engine, and the style and methods for that particular firm. Now we do the same thing for another geography, say in Malaysia or US. We are again taking the proprietary data of that particular PR firm and enabling EBIC, our product, to kind of tap into it and give out responses that are again aligned with their structure. The approval workflow is also something I'm a big fan of, because you see in today's world, you generate something and you have to send it to your leaders for approval, and then they have to give you certain comments and feedback because they obviously carry more experience. So I think the intelligence piece that you mentioned, Pi, and the AI workhorse, which is capable of generating many structured and unstructured artifacts, combined with this task management and project management ability built in using a Trello like organizing board, and that combined with this compressed proprietary knowledge. And I'm not even getting into the cool stuff of what our agents can do and the voice agent that Zubia and team have recently activated and integrated, which pretty much makes the system hands-free. So, you know, like a PR leader like you, Pi, can come into office and be making coffee and be getting state-of-the-art, cutting-edge, real-time intelligence by talking to EBIC. And not just talking by saying that, hey, what's happening with Tata commercial vehicles, or what's happening with X brand, is there a crisis? While making the same coffee, you can even like ask it to generate an artifact. That, okay, you've explained to me the crisis, these are my ideas, this is how I want to tackle it. And by the time you come sit on your desk, you're going to have that artifact ready. So even on the UI level, I would say that we've really innovated and we continue to. Technically, Zubia may be able to add. Yeah, please.
No, I think the UI interface is also extremely innovative. That you have integrated voice APIs into it, so that you can just talk to it when you come log in. I don't think there is a parallel in the PR industry globally. So very proud that we built something like this for this industry, because it was lacking. And we are actually going to showcase this in a couple of places in the next few months, Sri Lanka, Singapore, to the industry. So we're quite excited to showcase it. So yeah, Zubia, you had any thoughts?
Yeah, so just continuing with what Zorawar, you just mentioned about building the Trello interface in-house. I think that has been an ongoing vision in the tech team, that we try to build things in-house as much as possible. Another example of this similar thing would be our file search feature, which integrates all the files of all the brands that a certain PR agency is handling, and they store it in whatever place they want, for example Google Drive or Microsoft Drive, etc. And then initially we were trying to just integrate that interface into our system, but then ultimately we ended up building our own file explorer. So I think those are two such examples where we're trying to build things in-house as much as possible, so that we have more control over what we're building, and basically just personalize it for the users whenever any request comes. And I think the whole aim is to integrate as many workflows of any PR agency into the system as much as possible, so that becomes a one-stop for everything that they want to do in their workday.
Yeah, I smirked a little on the customization bit, because only you and I know, Zubia, how much technical debt that sometimes adds to our plate. But I would like to really thank the clients. Actually, it's a great point, Zubia, you brought up, and Pi, before we continue. It's not just us. I think a special mention is deserved by the people who have entrusted us by allowing us to deploy this technology, and not just today, when it was still in its formative stage, right? Because I'm sure Zubia will also agree, and most people in product and tech, and including you, Pi, one brain from the PR domain industry and a bunch of engineers can only dash out so much of the larger vision, right? Then it is that exposure to live clients and end users and their feedback cycle. I think they deserve 50% of the credit for where the product is today. Yes. So just think about it. If we remove all that feedback, we wouldn't have built some very nuanced things unless that end user mentioned it to us. Yeah.
As I said,
I would like to give them credit.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And as I said at the start of the call, this industry has been under-leveraged in terms of technology. We're bringing those capabilities to this industry. A lot of that feedback from client design thinking workshops is going into the product to make it better and better as it evolves. One of the cool things that I really like now about it is the narrative decoding, because narrative decoding is a challenge for the C-suite, the founders of the firm, for the clients, where you can just input your competition, you can input your brands, and it can give you a complete analysis for the last 1 month, for the last 6 months, for the last 1 year. So these are features I'm extremely proud of. I know Zubia has worked on the perceptual bubble also, and it is just that we never thought in the evolution of EBIC that we will have all of this in the homepage, so that when somebody logs in, they will not just see the media monitoring and analysis, but they see what the competition messaging is, where the industry is, what are the key narratives going on. So I think EBIC has come a long way in the last 1 year, and I think it will continue to evolve. I would just like to hear Zoravar's thoughts on the technology itself that is changing so rapidly. And with OpenClaw and agents, how does the EBIC ecosystem evolve to incorporate agents? So that will be a very interesting integration within EBIC.
See, agentic is certainly going to permeate faster than even ChatGPT did as an application, because it was an application interface that people had to engage and interact with, right? And it's taken a bit of learning curve. What agentic is essentially going to do is map existing workflows somewhere at the back-end layer of the system, which means you are able to demand not just a response from AI, which is what the world has gotten used to, right? That I type a prompt and I get a response, and this cycle kind of continues. Now what we are able to do with these new agentic systems is compress workflows down to a button, a trigger, and these triggers could be a human prompt. These triggers could also be automated. So to keep it literal, say something happens for a brand X. Our system already has the intelligence and the IntelliSense capabilities to detect something has gone wrong. Now we already have an AI workhorse which a human being could tap into and say, hey, I want to tackle it this way. We have a presentation generator, we have an image generator, we have a narrative decoding engine. And as of today, or at least when we conceptualized this, the idea was that these are features, right, that are sitting in their own little compartment. The way tech team, that is Zubia, I, and again I'll mention that a lot of the brilliant people who back us in hosting and supporting this technology, what we have in mind now is, why not detect, preemptively generate, and keep the assets ready, so when you come in at 10 a.m. in the morning to your office, you're not just monitoring. How you're going to tackle that situation or scenario with the kind of presentation, social media post, press release, thought leadership article, it's all ready to go. But we are keeping the human in the loop to say, hey, pick your pieces, the ones that you feel are apt. There is inbuilt editing capabilities. So it's not just that you have to take an AI output like ChatGPT gives you a downloadable PDF or a downloadable file and then you open it in another software and edit. No, everything is contained in one place. So the way I see agentic systems really benefiting us is using existing software capabilities, but being able to trigger them as a sequence or a chain reaction, and then say something that a user would, even with ChatGPT and Perplexity, I would say that a team of 2 would take at least 48 hours to tackle a large crisis, to do the research, decide what angle they want to address for this particular crisis. And even if they were going to use ChatGPT, they would still have to think of a prompt. And it's garbage in, garbage out. So depending on the quality of the prompt, they would get something, then they would iterate. So I think we've compressed a 48-hour process with AI down to 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
And this is still the beginning of 2026. So
yeah,
with the help of our tech team and good ideas, you can only imagine where we'll be by, say, 26 end Christmas or New Year. So yeah, the hopes are high. And we aren't even accounting for technology and model capabilities that aren't released yet. So one is we are evolving the product. And I'm always fascinated by the fact that, say, Zubia, you and I decide that, okay, we no longer want to evolve the product. We want to go for a 6-month vacation, and how Zubia and team would love that, right? Like, so no high hopes. There is no 6-month vacation, but as a hypothesis, if we do nothing and just the base models keep becoming more intelligent, that is also acting as a booster to our product, because you get better intelligence and better artifacts. But if we keep evolving, models keep evolving, there comes an inflection point where I don't know about AGI in the world, but at least at M37 Labs, we believe AGI is augmented growth intelligence. That's our take on the acronym. And I think EBIC can really and will reach a point where there is no tool like it delivering enterprise intelligence for PR firms, marketing firms, or for that matter, Fortune 500 companies that are also really keen on doing risk assessment, ESG monitoring. These are important things in the world today, and I don't see these things diminishing in value. So any tool that enables firms or enterprises to monitor and tackle these are certainly going to be value adds. Yeah.
Yes, I think upstream, when we go to the C-suite, from the PR firm founders to the enterprise Copcom, and move into the CXO suite, what they're really looking at is risk mitigation through reputation. And I think EBIC is, served at that primary goal, that it has to enable reputation to be preserved for the enterprise. And all the things that you said are coming in terms of regulatory risk applications that will come into EBIC in the future. Those are the ones that the C-suite will really want to engage with on a daily basis. So that's very powerful. So I'm quite excited about that.
I do have, just for fun, like from a technical perspective, Zubia, not from the perspective of complexity or ease, but what is it that you are looking forward to, or our team is looking forward to, in terms of a feature that you want to bring to life that will have a aha moment, which the product already does have in many areas, but something that isn't released yet?
I think this is something that we've been talking about for a while now, which is controlling the system through the chatbot interface or the voice interface.
The AGUI protocol.
The AGUI protocol is precisely what I'm talking about. So if a user goes in the morning and says, I want to monitor so-and-so brand, and I want to create a task about it. So they just have to say it, and they'll see the system move in front of them. A task will be created based on whatever the user wants to do. It will be a hands-free experience. They don't have to move their mouse or cursor or anything. And I think that is where software is evolving, and that is where we should start evolving our product towards. And we're already working on it.
I so agree with you, because I'll take popular movie references here. I don't know, like there may be a bit of a age gap, but have all of us seen this movie called Minority Report?
Yes.
Yeah. If not, you must check it out, Zubia. It's really okay. Let me take a more popular example. Gosh, we are old, Pi. As in, I'm realizing I am now. You're still young, but. See, Jarvis Iron Man, the reason that thing is so popular is because if you notice, and I'm not going into the Robert Downey Jr. Flair and fanciness, of course, that has its own charm. If you just look at the interface, why is the world attracted to systems like Jarvis? It is not because of the audio response received. It is because of a complete sensory experience, which means I can talk to Perplexity today and Perplexity talks back. I can talk to GPT today and GPT talks back. But this is still not feeling like Jarvis. And if you ask yourself the question why, my answer to it is because the screen isn't moving. Because I don't want to only satisfy my auditory senses, right? I want to be able to talk, view and listen, because that completes my cognitive load, right? So if I ask for something, and the system starts talking back at me or to me, and at the same time the screen starts rendering the same data. Say I ask for some stats and tables. Sure, it can tell me the average number of users today were X, or the average number of users were Y, so on and so forth. It just a second, I don't know how my hand is up here. So I think that will be a very complete experience. I don't know if I'm able to narrate it well enough, but to be able to talk, view, and listen all at the same time is what a complete human interaction is. That is what we are doing on this call as well right now, right? Like I'm able to listen to you guys, but I'm also able to see your face and expressions, and that really makes it complete. So yeah, super excited about AGUI. Just for the public out there, it's Agentic User Interface Protocol. It was done, Zubia, correct me if I'm wrong, by Copilot.
Copilot kit.
Yeah. So they released this about 6-7 months ago. We've been tinkering and hacking with it, and yeah, something great should come out.
Yeah, really excited to see all of this come out in the next few months as we deploy newer and newer versions of EBIC. Is there anything else that you had in mind, or we should probably slot another session for discussing what's coming out in EBIC in 2026?
Yeah, I think information overload is never good. So this does set at least the initial tone for us and our team to be able to get the word out on what the fun stuff has been, what the challenges have been, what the future prospects are, how we make it truly proprietary. And it's not just an AI SaaS product that teams are buying. I'd like to emphasize it's their internal repository of data that's actually the intellectual property.
Yeah.
EBIC should be imagined as a framework in which you plug your years of intelligence, and then the system kind of evolves with you. So I think 2 or 3 forks of EBIC will not evolve in the same way like traditional AI SaaS does. Just to lay out all the cards on the table, I'm a firm believer that dedicated agents, see, the flavor of the current technical industry is that agents have become really good at coding. And I've been tinkering with this thought in my mind that what happens if we train agents that are, say, Zubia and Zoravar for a specific deployment. So you're not just getting EBIC, you're getting an engineering agent with your deployment, and then just like you request feedback and changes to the product team, and that flows to me and flows to Zubia and we execute it. Imagine a future where the product itself comes with a agentic engineering team. So that really compresses the life cycle of you saying, hey, M37 Labs, I need this feature. Sure, we take 7 days and sometimes even 24 hours we are able to ship stuff out. But what if that happened in a minute? What happens over a year? I think we will be looking at copies of EBIC that we will be analyzing and be like, wait a second, how has it gone here?
So you're saying that EBIC will be on steroids with that kind of agentic deployments for every client. So you just put it on a rocket ship and it just takes off to its own trajectory.
I believe it's going to happen to all software.
Yeah.
This whole idea that you get to buy a Salesforce and you get to buy a CRM and you get to buy an HRMS and you get to buy a monitoring tool and just sit on the structure and the UI and the backend as it is, and then reach out to really technically informed teams to say, hey, can I get this tiny tweak? Big stuff, sure, you always need the human in the loop because there is sensitive data here and there is an enterprise running on this tool. But I think all software is going to suddenly move out of this rigidity and say a Gen Z team wants the entire EBIC to have a pink theme. Why not? Why should it take 7 days? Why should it take approval from top to bottom? Why can't one user have their theme as they like it? Why can't somebody move components? Why can't somebody have a Tamilian accent in their AI agent, whereas another dude in the same company is from Punjab and he wants a different accent from their AI voice agent because it makes them feel more at home? Yeah, I think all these things are a possibility.
Very exciting. Thanks for those thoughts. I think we are on to something very interesting with EBIC. So it was a great chat. Look forward to our next. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Pai. Thank you, Joey, for always organizing this. And thanks, Zubia, for being here and all the hard work you do. Please, let's stay at it.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to mention that although I am here, it is the hard work of all the team behind me. Although we're a small team, we're a young team, but everybody really puts in their best. And yeah, actually, I would even like to mention the team. I mean, I don't think the product would be here where it is without my co-tech lead Nitin. I think Prince and Prabhat, who are literally our damage control guys, whenever any requirement or feedback comes in from the client, they are the first people to take it up so that we can focus on building the features in the sprint, and they take care of the stuff that comes back from the client. Our Python guys, Utkarsh and Sisir, they have been really at it on the data processing features. Mubin has been analyzing what models are best for the for all the different features that we have. So I think it's a combined effort of everybody, and yeah, we're all really excited to where the product is heading.
Now that we brought them up, I think Rani, Kalpit also deserve a mention, because the client-facing product teams are also really putting in a lot of time and effort. So yeah, this is a great team effort, and we have a long way to go.